HOA forced me to demolish my family ranch. Now Karen mops floors there under court order. The sun beat down on the cracked earth of my family's ranch, a 200-acre legacy my great-grandfather carved from nothing. I stood by the old oak where my father taught me to ride, my hands trembling with rage. Across from me, Karen Heller, the HOA president, clutched her clipboard like a shield. Her lips pursed in that smug way that made my blood boil. Her manicured nails tapped impatiently as she gestured at the barn now half torn apart by her orders. "It's non-compliant," she'd said months ago, citing some obscure HOA regulation about aesthetic uniformity. I'd fought her tooth and nail, but today, the bulldozers were coming. My brother, Jake, stood beside me, his fists clenched, his eyes darting between Karen and me. This wasn't just land. It was our history, our home, and she was ripping it apart. It started innocently enough. When Karen moved into the new subdivision bordering our ranch 2 years ago, I welcomed her with a basket of my mother's peach preserves. She seemed friendly, if a bit particular, always fussing about mailbox heights or lawn mowing schedules. But then the HOA letters arrived. First, it was our fence too rustic. Then our livestock too noisy. Then the barn too old. Each complaint chipped away at our peace, but I tried to compromise to keep the community harmonious. Jake, though, wasn't so patient. "She's a control freak," he'd growl, slamming her letters on the kitchen table. I should have listened. Karen's campaign escalated. She rallied neighbors, spun tales of our ranch lowering property values, and pushed for fines we couldn't afford. I sold off cattle to pay them, but it was never enough. Then came the ultimatum: demolish the barn or face foreclosure. I begged for a hearing, but the HOA board Karen's puppets shut me down. That's when I found out about her secret. A neighbor, Mrs. Grayson, a quiet widow who'd lived here longer than Karen, slipped me a folder one night. Inside were emails showing Karen had bribed a county official to falsify a report about our barn's structural hazards. I was livid, but Mrs. Grayson warned me, "She's untouchable. Be careful." I wasn't careful. I confronted Karen at the next HOA meeting, waving the emails in her face. The room fell silent as her composure cracked, her eyes narrowing to slits. "You'll regret this," she hissed. The next day, inspectors swarmed our ranch, and the demolition order was signed. Jake wanted to fight physically, but I held him back. We hired a lawyer, a scrappy guy named Tom who worked pro bono after hearing our story. He dug deeper and found Karen's bribery went beyond the county. She'd manipulated HOA funds, skimming thousands for personal use. The evidence was ironclad. The courtroom was packed. Karen sat primly, her lawyer spinning lies about her dedication to the community. But Tom was relentless, presenting bank records, emails, and Mrs. Grayson's testimony. The judge's gavel fell like thunder. Karen was guilty of fraud and abuse of power. The HOA was dissolved, and our ranch was spared further destruction. But the twist came when the judge sentenced Karen to community service cleaning the very ranch she tried to destroy. Every weekend, she mops the floors of our rebuilt barn, her designer shoes scuffing the wood she once deemed unsightly. Yet the victory tastes bitter. The legal battle drained our savings, and Jake, consumed by anger, left the ranch to start over elsewhere. I walk the fields alone now, the silence heavier than ever. Karen's punishment feels just, but it can't rebuild what was lost: our unity, our trust, our home's heart. I see her mopping, her face a mask of resentment, and wonder if justice was worth this cost. The ranch stands, but it's a hollow shell of what it was. What do you think? Was justice served? Or did vengeance tear us all apart? Share your thoughts.